I want to kind of preface this video by saying that although the kind of thing that made me want to make this video is because someone made a video talking about the economy being dead and I disagree with it, I have no real ill feelings or anything like that towards the person who made the video. I know the person who made the video isn't overly keen of me. They've made a video about me in the past, they have sent multiple negative tweets my way, and the chances are he's probably going to make a video responding to this and I'll get a lot of hate sent my way, but it is what it is, man, and it's not really related to that. I'm just talking purely on the economy side of things here. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to a brand new video. Now today this is more of a discussion video, I suppose. This is going to be more of a sit down and kind of talk about potential possibilities and just my overall opinions on the topic of the economy in Team Fortress 2. As there's been a lot of talk recently, more specifically over the past few days, of the economy supposedly ending, dying, whatever word you want to use for it, it pretty much means the same thing. A YouTuber who I'm not really going to like draw attention to it, but a YouTuber who's made videos about this before has made yet another video about how the economy is ending and supposedly dying. Now I want to say before we get off the bat, I have no ill intent towards this YouTuber. I don't think they've made this video with any bad intentions. In fact, I believe they had good intentions when they made this video. But the first thing I want to say, and the most important thing I want to say, is that if a YouTuber makes a video and someone people look up to makes a video claiming that the economy is dying or that Team Fortress 2 as a whole is coming to a close because Refined is a bit in excess at the moment, people are going to take that word as gospel. Someone in a position of power says something like this, people are going to say, oh, well, if he thinks it, it must be true because he's a YouTuber, because he has that position of authority and position of power due to him being looked up to by other people. Like, you may not realize it, but as a YouTuber, people look up to you, whether you have 1,000 subs, whether you have 100,000 subs. People look up to you and people take what you say as fact. So when you say something as controversial and quite honestly ill-informed as the economy's dying because there's a lot of refined and keys are a bit expensive, people are going to take that and run. I had people in my comments telling me that they're scared and they're probably going to cash out because a YouTuber told them that keys are a bit expensive at the moment, and quite frankly, it's ridiculous. So the video essentially goes on to state that since he made his last rant on the economy, which happens to be one of the most popular videos on his channel, I can't think why he'd make another one, right? But anyway, since he made his last rant on the economy, there's over 1 million more refined in circulation, which explains the rise in Key's price. He said that soon refined is gonna become worthless and we're gonna need to take a new currency up, which is a good point. If refined essentially loses its value, and I even tweeted this, if refined gets to a point where it holds no real value, we'll have to vote as a community to get some sort of sub-currency. The exact same thing happened with earbuds. They used to be about 30 keys, they crashed, and surprisingly the economy is still alive. So we'd have to make a new sort of sub-currency such as craft hats or just something that holds a consistent value. However, the main point I disagreed with in this video is that he said when refined goes down, it's gonna take everything down with it, including the economy, keys, and just everything trading orientated is going to die as soon as refined loses its value. And quite frankly, that is absurd, ill-informed, and complete waffle. A whole economy can't just die because the small sub-economy part of it being refined metal loses its value. We'll just make another sub-currency. Keys will still hold their value, Max's heads will still hold their value, Unusuals will still hold their values. Everything is going to hold its value regardless of refined's price. The video itself was just a prime example of a we're doomed, I'm gonna start panic mongering to accumulate some drama. He made the point that refined is like the main currency of TF2, and when that goes down the shitter, everything's gonna go down the shitter with it. If it was keys that were crashing in price, there would be a cause for concern. Keys are going, if not perfectly at the moment. They've held a consistent price for as long as I can remember. They're available to be purchased in the store, and they've held a consistent price on cash out sites such as marketplace.tf and manco.store. That will always be the main currency of Team Fortress 2. It always has, and it always will. Keys are used in the more prominent terms of trading, which is high tier trading. Australians, unusuals, high tier items, which are generally traded, always use keys. There's not a huge amount of people anymore that trade low tier items. Does this correlate to the inflated key price? Perhaps. Is it a huge issue? No. As long as people are still using keys, and as long as people are still trading with unusuals and stuff, which doesn't happen as much as it used to, but it's definitely not a cause for concern, the economy is fine. Do I agree with the fact that the use for refined at the moment being crafting is completely pointless? Yes. Crafting is more likely than not going to give you a loss. I've done countless hat crafting videos where you put 3 refined in to get a random craft hat, and more often than not you could have just bought the hat for 1.22 refined. There's no real use for refined, and we need a new use, and I've come up with multiple ideas in previous videos of just how Valve could implement a new use for refined. And honestly, this may be a bit of an unpopular opinion. I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to trading, and of course I miss the old days where keys cost 8 refined. But honestly, I think the economy right now is in a fantastic position. Refined holds a lot of use in the sense that you can go out and buy high tier cosmetics. You can make a loadout for every single one of your classes for a key. Do you know how crazy that is? The fact that you can pick up well over 30 cosmetics for under a key is extraordinary. And if you are a low tier trader or you're just getting into Team Fortress 2, you have to make minimal investments to build yourself loadouts, which I think is a very positive aspect. When I started trading in Team Fortress 2, keys were about 7 refined to 8 refined. If I wanted to build a loadout for each of my classes, it would have cost me at least 5 to 6 keys to get some decent cosmetics for each class. You can literally build a loadout for every single class with 1 key. $1.80 is all it takes to get nice cosmetics for each class. So if you are just starting Team Fortress 2, you can't really do a rags to riches type thing. You can't do enough into something due to the keys being so inflated, but you can build yourself a cosmetic loadout. And I think that is a very, very important and overlooked aspect. In fact, you didn't even acknowledge that in your video. Do I think that keys inflating and refined becoming more and more in circulation is going to kill the economy? No, absolutely not. And in a position of power, to make such a bold statement that you know people are going to start panicking from is an incredibly questionable decision. Do I think there are problems with the economy that weren't even mentioned in this video? 100%. The main one of which is trading bots. If you're trying to trade low tier items or things like that, it's near enough impossible because there will always be a bot to undercut you. There will always be buy bots as well. It makes it very hard to make profit, in my opinion. Is there an issue with unusual trading? The same thing kind of applies, but nowhere near to the same extent. People can still unusual trade and still do unusual trade very, very regularly. The economy is relatively healthy, it's just refined is a bit more in circulation and keys are a bit more expensive. Little editor's note, and by more expensive I don't mean real world value. Keys are still consistently the same price they have been for as long as I can remember in terms of real world cash. It's just refined is slowly losing value, which means to buy a key with refined it's gonna take you a bit more. That's pretty much my thoughts on the topic. Just the overall tone and everything about the video in question was incredibly panic inducing. It made people think, oh no, the economy's dying, I've got to sell everything, when that's really not the case. Refined is just very much in circulation right now, there's no real use for it, that's a known fact. Everyone knows that we ideally need a new ref sync for Team Fortress 2, whether that's war paint craft, whether that's exclusive crafting hats, whether that's anything to do with a new use to actually put your ref into. Everyone knows we need a new ref sync. Does that mark the end of the entire economy, including keys, which have been at a stable price for as long as I can remember, unusuals, taunts, pretty much everything? No, absolutely not. And you shouldn't be panicking, you should fear not, because so many people in the comments of this video were quite clearly worked up and quite clearly panicking. And if a YouTuber who seems to have some sort of market knowledge or trading knowledge says that the economy is dying, people are obviously going to take that as gospel, man, and that's really all there is to it. Also in the video he makes the point that Team Fortress 2's player base is slowly declining and there's a lack of updates, but that's common knowledge at this point. I think every YouTuber on the planet has probably made a video about how there's lack of updates and potential new updates and stuff. I even made a video hypothesizing a Man vs Machine update, which in turn would probably be a good ref sync. Imagine you could turn in like 20 refined to get a Tour of Duty ticket. Even something as simple as that from Valve would be fantastic. And I think the main issue here isn't the YouTuber, it isn't the economy itself, it's Valve isn't releasing updates, they're not trying with the game, they seem relatively out of touch with not only the community but the economy as well. They're not really paying any attention to the economy side of it. If they were, they would have made a ref sync or something that you can turn your ref into some time ago to stop the inflation that's currently going on. The declining player base is also an issue as well. Of course, if people slowly start cashing out, there'll be more just loose items floating about, there'll be less people actively trading, more trade bots taking up more space on the market due to less actual real users using it. Of course that's an issue if TF2 just slowly starts to die out, but we've literally got so much time to worry about that. There is still quite a lot of people playing the game actively, and just overall that really shouldn't be the main concern. As I'm making this video, it's still in the top 10 games being played right now, with a current player base of 47,600, so I really don't think we need to worry. But guys, that is just about it for this video. If you did enjoy, then please do remember to leave a like and let me know your thoughts down below. Also leave your kind of like thoughts on this topic as a whole, if you agree with the fact that because keys are a bit expensive at the moment in terms of refined, that the economy's dying, or anything like that. Just leave your thoughts on the topic as a whole. Is the economy in a healthy way, or is it in the decline? Yeah, just leave your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and peace. Feeling good, mate, it's never gonna come like Skate 4. I'm so consistent like my heartbeat, always up the top like Vardy. In the scene, nobody's getting past me. You think you're better than me, hardly. On my ones like a one-man army. Gotta grind up and get myself a car G. Cop a nice job with the palm trees, but until then I'll focus on my craft. See, I get a lot of hate like trash guys. Stop, but your girl gets gas for the track time.